What's going on, everybody? I hope everyone is having a fantastic night. We are back with another episode with my co host, Ross. We just finished Elite Prospect Day. We have Antonio, is it Moultrie? Am I
Moultrie.
pronouncing it right?
Yeah,
Antonio
Moultrie.
Moultrie, edge rusher / outside linebacker from UAB, transferring to the University of Miami. A lot of great things going on. I know we've been very patient with the OC and DC. It has to come one day. Mario Cristobal can't coach both positions, right?
No.
But a lot of great things are happening. Ross, where do you want to begin? I mean, I know you've been evaluating a lot of tape of Antonio Moultrie. Even his outside linebackers coach even threw you the bone that he was going to come to the University of Miami. I mean, what does he bring to the table?
He started off as an interior defensive lineman, so a little bit of that strength and a little bit of that tough attitude that he had in the interior, he's actually brought a little bit that out to the edge, and that he's basically playing that edge role now. Where you talk about a defensive end / outside linebacker.
Yep.
I didn't know if he was going to have the athleticism to do it or not after moving from the inside. Been very, very impressed though, dude, and there's still untapped upside there, no doubt about it.
Yeah, no, I'm glad we brought him to the University of Miami. Do you think he can play outside linebacker at the Power 5 level, transitioning from a G5 school, or do you see him more as an edge rusher? That's where I'm curious because we do need help at both positions.
I would need to see his short burst quickness and his overall speed a little more before I'd be comfortable at OLB. But I think that no matter what, if anything, he's a good pass rusher. And, you can't have enough guys to get to the quarterback. So, we've had some question marks at pass rusher coming into this season. So, hey, man, if we can get a guy who can come in and maybe toss out 5-6 sacks for us, dude, that's totally worth it. Totally.
I'm all for that. No, we need all the help we can get. 100%. 5 or 6 sacks, I'll take it. Because right now, guys, I honestly don't know who's going to be that leader on the defensive line who's going to produce a lot of sacks from Miami. I'm just thinking maybe it'll be Javari Harvey because I think he's that talented. I just haven't seen him get to that level yet.
Maybe pretty much upside with him, it's that untapped upside. The physical upside's there. We've seen the mental makeup that he can compete,
100%.
but now it's just got to all come together, 100%. All come together.
So Ross, we pick up Frank Latson from the transfer portal, wide receiver out of Clemson. I think his potential was amazing. He's 6'3", 6'4", put him on the outside. He's had, I think, history, problems with injuries. All good. It happens. Look, I think he's going to be a stud. We get Jacob Lichtstein from USC. He'll probably play in the interior. Now you get Moultrie from UAB. Do you see another position where Miami will probably target? Oh, and we also got Henry Parrish from Ole Miss. So we picked up 4 players from the portal. Where do you think will be the next position we go after?
If we're not done trying to add talent to the linebacking core, I won't be shocked, Paul. After what we saw last year and after wanting to bring in bodies that can compete from week 1, it really wouldn't shock me to see if we went that route. I'm not sure how 100% comfortable they are right now with our cornerback group, and that might be something that needs to be more explored down the line as well.
I agree. Alex Perez, $5 donation. Thank you so much for donating to this channel. Greatly appreciate it. Alex states, Maribel said to recruits that the turnover chains are officially gone and the Canes are just focused on football. And yeah, that's what I expected. The turnover chains, that's what Manny Diaz brought to the University of Miami. Thank you very much for your time. This is the Mario Cristobal era. This is how he's going to run things. It is what it is.
It's a new day. It's a new day. No more gimmicks, guys. We're not going to be resorting to gimmicks to get production. We're going to be resorting to real coaching and real development.
So let's talk a little bit about Elite Prospect Day. It seemed like that there were a ton of elite talent, more than I expected. I mean, you had guys like Jaden Wayne, Brandon Ennis, Dante Moore, 5-star recruit, like literally the number 1 quarterback in the nation out of Detroit, Michigan, was on campus. You had some studs, Ross. Even Renaud Smith. Renaud was there, which was awesome. We love Renaud. He's one of our favorite players. A great kid. How do you think overall it went? I know you spoke with a couple elite recruits such as Jaden Wayne, Landon Hatchett. What's the overall feedback?
For any kids that had been involved with the Diaz staff, it's a night and day difference in recruiting right now. Jaden Wayne made it very, very clear to me that the Cristobal staff and Cristobal himself, they develop genuine relationships. They go out of their way to develop genuine relationships and to talk with kids and make them feel more comfortable. He flat out told me he never got that treatment from Diaz. No matter how many times he brought him down or whatever else he did, he never got that kind of treatment. And that's what I'm hearing from a lot of the other recruits too. They're flat out so impressed at how they could sit down with a guy like Cristobal and he could just, even if they weren't high in Miami initially, get them excited about the school within just one visit. It's pretty cool.
And Jaden Wayne, look, a lot of people in South Florida were saying that as well. Mario Cristobal, he creates a connection with you. It's more, you just feel it more. It's more, what's the word for it? Genuine, sincere, the connection. They didn't mesh well with the past head coach at the University of Miami. We see this a lot when there's a new head coach. Mark Richt brought Paradise Camp. Manny Diaz kind of brought the new Miami. That's what his whole slogan was. He had recruits on campus, had a whole spiel about, if you don't join Miami, you'll get your ass kicked by Miami. That never happened, obviously. Now we got Mario Cristobal. He's nationally known to be one of the great recruiters in the nation. You know what I like what Mario Cristobal is doing, Ross? He's getting a lot of players from the Pacific Northwest in the West Coast that Miami would have never had a shot at. Jaden Wayne, we would have never had a shot at. Luli, we would have never had a shot at. These are guys who Miami, and Harold Perkins, he just decommitted from Texas A&M linebacker. I don't know if he's going to come to Miami, but we're in play to potentially land him. He's a 5-star linebacker from the state of Texas, correct?
Yes, the number 1 linebacker in his class.
You got Dante Jones, number 1 quarterback in the nation in Big Ten country out of Detroit, Michigan. We pull that off. I mean, literally, tip your hat to Mario Cristobal. I don't expect that to happen, but he's on campus visiting us right now. These are recruits that we would have never been in play for. Never.
They made a full court press, or however you want to say it, laid out the red carpet for Jaden Wayne, basically, is from what I've been understood. This was a chance for Cristobal to basically reignite that relationship that he already had with Jaden and his parents due to their time in the Northwest. Jaden told me that they refer to Cristobal as family. They consider him to actually be family. Jaden told me that Cristobal made his parents feel very welcome and very comfortable with the idea of Jaden coming down to play for him at Miami. And what I also heard was when the event was over and they were all walking out, Cristobal saw that Jaden was walking out with his parents. He jogged on over to them and actually slowed him down for a bit just so he could get in their ear just a little bit more right before they left campus. Right. He's really doing everything he can. And it's that little stuff. Recruits are noticing it. It's his stuff that Diaz and the other staff simply wouldn't do.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I saw Jaden Wayne at Paradise Camp, the past one. Diaz was head coach. I believe it was Calais Campbell talking to Jaden Wayne. Diaz wasn't near him. It was Calais Campbell. I don't think that he was that interested. I didn't see Jaden Wayne at all. Elite Prospect Day, I wasn't there. But from what he said with you, it seems like there's a lot more interest with Mario Cristobal. He's a lot happier. And hey, that's why Mario Cristobal is considered one of the best recruiters in college football. I'm curious, what did Landon Hatchett say? Because I really like him a lot. He's an offensive lineman from the state of Washington. His brother plays for the Washington Huskies. When we interviewed him, a lot of people in the chat really liked Landon a lot. How was his visit? The first time being down to Coral Gables? Because I think he's really going to be a good.
He simply told me that, he's done a little bit of research on Miami. He's seen what we've gone through the last couple of years. Cristobal will get this team right, and he will get them right in a hurry. He truly believes it. He said Miami is on to bigger and better things.
Wow. Pretty impressive. Pretty impressive.
This is all just, quick stuff that he's been doing while he's got relationships built from Oregon. It's a totally different world to say, hey, I was at Oregon, but hey, come on down to Miami and come check this out. It's totally out of certain kids' comfort element sometimes. But, dude, just an amazing job by the staff, dude. An amazing job by the staff to make these kids feel like they're priorities and they're welcomed and that they're going to be treated properly and fairly at the University of Miami.
Now, let's play a little prediction game. You think Harold Perkins, do you think he comes to Miami or no?
Unfortunately, no, I don't think that'll happen. Sadly, I would if he would have made it to campus this last week, I just said a lot more would have been play. He didn't make it. I don't know where that leaves us totally with it, but I just feel like we're kind of on the outside looking in there. Unfortunately,
Shamar Stewart, I think we're in a great position for him.
my confidence level with Shamar's building week by week. I think I was a little hesitant in a while to want to like jump into that and go, okay, well, all the hype. It seems like this hype is genuine, and it seems like it's moving forward.
Yeah. Now, Brandon Inniss, he was there Elite Prospect Day. I think he got a crystal ball to the University of Southern California. Remember, committed to Lincoln Riley, class of 2023, top wide receiver of the nation. You think Miami can be in play, or this is a hard commit to Lincoln Riley headed to the University of Southern California?
It's going to be tough, but Inniss was pretty impressed from what it sounds like, and Inniss put on a pretty good show. It sounds like Inniss kind of pulled one of his almost like wondering if the guy was even having to give 100% effort in the 7-on-7 stuff because he's just so naturally good. So it's like almost making it look too easy at times. You know what I'm saying? Like a guy like Cormani McLean, same thing on defense. Almost makes it look too easy at times. Well, it's because they're that far advanced above everybody else in certain aspects. They can make it look easy. I think Inniss, while it'd be tough to pull him out of USC, I think we at least bumped up the list a little bit after this visit.
Jack Pyburn, Auburn or Miami?
Canes, baby. Canes.
I would love Jack Pyburn to come. I would love Mason Thomas to come as well. I think, isn't Ahmad Moda and Mason Thomas visiting this weekend with Citizen, the running back we interviewed?
I believe so, yes. Yes, I believe so.
Hey, that would be pretty impressive.
That's an impressive trio right there. A trio that's not always being talked about. So that's 100%. Very impressive 2022 kids right there.
Which were not takes for Manny Diaz. Not to compare.
No content.
There's no content. Ahmad Moden, Mason Thomas, these were local kids, local players from South Florida. I believe they attend Cardinal Gibbons Senior High School. No contact with Miami.
Moten's a legacy. Remember? He's a legacy. His brother played for us.
Yeah. I just find it interesting. All right.
There's a different feel, I'll tell you that, from top to bottom, from the 2022, 2023, and 2024 recruits that I've spoken with. There is a total different aura and vibe around the University of Miami right now. And the players, they sense it and they know that recruiting is going to change at Miami with Cristobal there. They made that very clear to me.
And we could finish with a top 15, top 20 staff if, things work out well. Easily.
There's another player too that I don't want to forget about before I move on here. It's another West Coast guy. I got a chance to speak with a cornerback, Aaron Williams, out of California. Some say him as the number one cornerback in the state of California. Yeah. He had a fantastic time. And Miami wasn't even a school that was really even on his radar. He had an absolutely fantastic time while he was there and spoke very highly of the staff in Cristobal. Seems like that there's a trust is building as we speak between those guys, basically.
Yeah. All right. Talked first 15 minutes about recruiting. Got over 160 people joining us tonight. Greatly appreciated. If you guys can hit subscribe and the like button to support this YouTube channel, it would mean the world to us. Now, Travaris Robinson, T-Rob, has joined the Alabama Crimson Tide, I believe, as a cornerbacks coach, correct? Not defensive backs title?
Yeah.
When I think last time we went on live probably like 6 or 7 days ago. We talked about this, whether he was going to go or not. We said it's a tough decision. He was gaining SEC interest. He's going to have a lot of great opportunities. It's the Alabama Crimson Tide. There's no denying that. Everyone who takes a position coach job usually goes and gets a head coaching position at a very good program. Mario Cristobal, Billy Napier, Lane Kiffin, Steve Sarkisian, Mel Tucker. The list keeps going on and on. So I think this is a great opportunity for Coach Travaris Robinson. I don't blame him one bit for taking the job.
Yeah,
I really don't. I wish him the best.
You got to realize it goes from both sides of it on me here. Is the best recruits in the nation want to go play for Bama. So why wouldn't the best coaches in the nation want to do the same thing? I mean, it just makes sense. It seems like, unfortunately, they were going to get T-Rob no matter what, because they were going to put up that SEC fight to get him.
It's a great opportunity.
Totally.
History has shown if you're a position coach, you're going to eventually move on to great things from the Alabama coaching tree. It's shown.
this could get him a bump up, actually, depending on how well he does and how quick he does. He might actually start to get a little bit of talk from moving up to the NFL, maybe. That's where that stuff happens when you're at Bama. You just got to prove you can make it happen.
But look, T-Rob's gone. Wish him the best of luck. Now, who do we bring in to replace? Do you think we have a defensive coordinator that will oversee DBs? You think we handpicked a position coach? I think DeMarcus Van Dyke is going to be in an off the field role in the sense, not a position coach. So who would it be?
It's tough, with DVD moving to an analyst type of role off the field. It really opens the door there for a total change. Not just from the coordinator spot or whoever's running that unit, but the coaches underneath him as well. And that's where a guy like Doug Belk from Houston kind of comes into play for me a little bit. A guy who really, really, really improved that defense that he was coaching, and a guy who has experience coaching DBs and dealing with DBs and having development. So I could see us being fairly interested in that. While I wouldn't say that, we're just going to hand him the entire unit and the DC job. He could oversee the DB room, but while we still have a DB coach in there, taking things on, hand by hand at practice and stuff while he oversees the DC job. So, my guess is that whoever we bring in at DC will have some kind of experience dealing with defensive backs, because losing T-Rob is just too big of a loss, man. It really is.
Yeah, no, it is. In recruiting, we saw the effect he had in the offseason. If Miami was winning games with Diaz, we would have had a lot of great cornerbacks. Kamari Rogers, you got your Chris Graves, even Fegans, who was committed to us. All those guys. It's all on T-Rob. The guy's done a tremendous job recruiting. That's why Alabama picked him. So it's going to be a big hole to fill. I don't think we're going to bring him on as defensive coordinator. That's it. He's going to go to Alabama. It is what it is. I know you've been watching a lot of Doug Belk. He has a relationship with Mario Cristobal during their time in Alabama. He was at Houston. It seems like he put up a great defense. What kind of defense does Doug Belk run?
It's not like it's not super aggressive like a Manny Diaz type of defense is, where it's just constantly trying to have to force pressure. He's a little more methodical in his ways. He when he first got to Houston there and he was dealing with it, that wasn't a good defense. That defense didn't have a lot of talent at all. So for him to show that he could flip the current players that weren't even all his recruits and then develop them into a really, really good core within just a matter of years, that gives me a little hope, Paul. It really does. And then, of course, with that DB background he has, we're needing that right now. So it wouldn't bother me if this was the guy that we started to look at a little more, just because I got a chance to watch some of that Houston defense, and I got a chance to review some of the film from before when he was DC. Total difference, dude. Total difference.
Keep in mind, guys, we're just throwing names around, different options. We don't know, as well as anyone else, who's going to be the next defensive coordinator. Often, I actually kind of forgot today. We still needed, coordinators. I really did. I kind of didn't hit me. So, look, you got to trust Mario Cristobal on the decision he makes. And take it day by day. I understand they brought up Coach Campanile, I believe is his last name, the Dolphins linebacker coach. They have a relationship. He used to coach at Rutgers. I don't know. All I know is this. Jason Candle, as it was reported, declined the University of Miami offer. There was a tweet made out by Canes Access on social media stating that the University of Miami offensive coordinator position, they're looking for it. The budget is as high as $1.8 million a year. They're willing to pay that much. That's a lot of money.
That 1.8 alone should catch the certain kind of guys' attentions, the kind of guys' attentions that we want to catch, because that's real money being tossed at the coordinator position right there. That's the type of money it takes to get the coordinators that we want at Miami to actually improve as a whole unit, not just one side of the ball or not. We want to load up on coaches on both sides. We want the best of the best that we can get, because that's what Cristobal expects from his staff.
Falconer X, thank you so much for the $5.55 donation. I know there's a lot of things going on with the new NIL bill, so hey, I'm all happy for the players to be making their money. The stadium talk, that's going to be a long time before anything is done. It's not going to be, there may be people in this chat who may not see another stadium. I'm not trying to be mean. I just don't see it's going to happen in the next 10 years. Just my opinion. Could happen in 15, 20. I just don't think it's going to happen in the next 5-10 years.
Yeah, I mean, it would have to happen within that 5-year time range for me to really buy into it and go, hey, they actually do have a plan. They do have something they're going forward with. But dude, every year that goes by, it's just another year we're waiting longer and longer and longer. And Paul, you've explained it to me. It's not easy to find lots like that to build in that area. It's just simply with traffic and everything else. It's not easy to do. So I understand why there's a little bit of work.
I think the ideal location is Tropical Park. I believe that's with the county of Miami. It's not with the city of Miami. So that I don't, you have to get it through voting with the entire county involved. If Miami, the county of Miami doesn't want something done, they're not going to have it done. I understand that. I believe with the Inter Miami, they have it. They're trying to build it at Mel Reese Golf Course, which is right next to the airport. And there's something with the FAA that they can't build it for whatever reason. I don't know the details. I can guarantee you there will not be this is my opinion. I don't see a stadium being built in the city of Miami in the next 5 years, and it'll be up and running in 5 years. 10 more, okay. Anything can happen. I just don't think it will. I think we're going to be at Hard Rock for the next 11 years. I think the lease is also 11 years as well. I could be completely wrong. I don't think we're going anywhere from Hard Rock Stadium for the next decade. Just my opinion.
And this is kind of going back to the last subject here, but there's a recruit that was on campus, Paul, that I really want to make sure we talk about. I don't want to forget about him because I truly believe this is a special player. We had tight end Riley Williams down from Portland, Oregon. He was there.
Yeah.
Dude, 6'6", 6'7", athletic with reach, plays with a fire in his belly. I mean, he just, even though he's not like the biggest guy physically, dude, if he gets a chance to rap on someone and drive him into the dirt, he loves it. Or he loves pushing him off the sidelines bet as far as he freaking can. But dude, this is a major, major tight end prospect. And he was a little bit below the radar for a bit. He wasn't getting the love he deserved from colleges around the nation, but that's starting to change more and more week by week by week. The more film comes out, the more they're starting to see that this is a pass catching weapon. He's not just the old school slow tight end. This is an athletic 6'6", 6'7" with length tight end, dude. I'm very, very impressed when I saw his film. I mean, like truly, truly impressed.
Hey, come on down. We have Jaleel Skinner as well, but come on down. We'll take anyone who's that stature. Falcon Rex, thank you so much. $5 donation. When Miami is good, Hard Rock is amazing. For today's tuition, they can fly the students in on helicopters. The University of Miami is an expensive school.
Hey, at least we're willing to spend the money it takes, guys. I mean, the rumors were the rumors for a while, but we're starting to spend that money. We spent a little bit on the staff already. Now it's just about closing in and getting the guys that we really need to help this team go forward.
And look, guys, I honestly believe there is a high budget for the OC, the DC job. I think we're just trying to get it right. I know we went after Joe Brady. We went after Jason Candle. It didn't work out. It didn't work out with those two guys. I guarantee you. Look, if they hire Frank Bones as offensive coordinator, I'm going to trust Mario's opinion on the hire. I may not like it because I really don't think we should be hiring a G5 App State offensive coordinator to come here. But if it works out, I'll be more than happy. If they hire James Coley, I'm not going to be happy. But if it works out, great. I think we're going to go after some big fish. Jason Candle was a surprise name nobody heard at all. And he was a head coach at Toledo. And he declined the offer Miami gave him. He thought about it.
Yeah.
So tight.
There's also me, Paul, I'm a recruiting guy. There's two quarterbacks I wanted to touch in on that were at the 7-on-7 stuff and got a chance to visit Miami a little bit. We had Nico there from California, and we had Dante Moore up from the Michigan area there.
Both are stuff.
I'll tell you what, dude. I'm high on Dante Moore. I really am. I think Nico's a level above, honestly. With natural, raw arm talent, I think that places him a little bit above. Nico's making throws from multiple arm angles, multiple release points, like a little mini Patrick Mahomes kind of, and just does it casually on point. His arm talent alone is why I think that he's just a notch above Moore. Don't get me wrong. I like Moore. I like him a lot. But I think Nico's just a little notch above him.
Do you think, I mean, look, Dante Moore, look, he's out of Detroit, Michigan. That's Big Ten country. All right. Michigan State, Ohio State, and we're to pull him out of there is going to be insane. Yeah. So I don't think that's going to happen, just being real. What do you think about Nico?
California kid, another guy we had to pull across the state, but he didn't really like dive in too much. He doesn't go overboard about some of these visits he goes on. He likes to kind of stay a little bit behind the scenes with some of his stuff and a little low key. But man, everything, it sounds like he had a big smile on his face when he was walking all around and getting introduced to different coaches, different players, different recruits. Sounds like he had a huge smile on his face. He's the type of guy that doesn't always have a huge smile on his face. So at least we're making some kind of progress there. But from the sounds of it, his arm talent alone impressed our guys so much. I could see us really starting to focus on him going forward.
Yeah, that would be great. No, that would be phenomenal. I would love that. One of those two guys. I just think Nico will be more realistic.
This will go back to proving why we wanted to get Mario and why we brought him in. Not just to recruit locally and get elite talent locally, to get elite talent nationally, to make us a game player across the nation. This is why we brought him in.
27 minutes in, over 270 people watching. Greatly appreciate it. If you guys want to support, hit subscribe, hit the like button. It would mean the world to us. Ross, anything you want to touch up on we haven't discussed yet?
There was a surprise visitor there, Paul, actually, a guy who really caught my attention that I had no expectations of. It's 5-star athlete, USC commit, Makai Lemon. He was there. I did not hear anything about this happening. If anybody knows Makai, they know that he's a very, very low-key guy, especially on Twitter. He hardly posts anything ever. So when he showed up there, dude, it definitely caught me by surprise. And being a USC commit to want to make that trip in the midst of all this, very intriguing. Now, I haven't heard any reports on him because it sounds like he kind of got in and got out. But, dude, I mean, that caught my attention, definitely. He's a 5-star athlete. There's no doubt about it.
I'm telling you, man. The Mario effect, we're going after recruits that, I mean, I'm just glad he's here. I'm glad he's our head coach. I think it's going to make a big difference moving forward.
Bro, Hakeem Williams, too. They really put on the full court press for Hakeem this last weekend, and it sounds like he was a stud in the 7-on-7 events too, dude. Just plucking the ball out of the air, guys couldn't even stop him.
I believe Perkins canceled his visit to Miami.
Yeah, he did.
By the way, speaking of Perkins, I really think Luly's going to be coming to the University of Miami. Just my prediction, just from what I'm seeing in interviews.
I hope so, man. He seems like he's got quite a bit of love for Miami. It seems like that visit that he took down there is really stuck with him. And he's still talking about it when the right people bring it up. So something special happened down there, and I hope that could be a guy for us because I'll tell you what, man, adding a mauler like him on the interior, let's do it.
And you know what? I think Luly would have committed to Oregon if Mario Cristobal was still there in his staff.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
I think this is what happens. You're going to see guys like Cyrus Moss, Luly, like they're going to commit and follow Mario Cristobal.
But dude, this is like the Pied Piper kind of thing, but the Pied Piper with elite recruits following him. It's unlike anything we've seen recently at Miami. Yes, we've seen paradise camps and other events and stuff, but we've never seen this type of buzz or having the recruits talk about the coaches like they have been after this event. Dude, I'm telling you, bro, night and day difference when I'm talking to these recruits now compared to what paradise camp was at the end of it last year.
Yeah. No, I mean, I look on the Paradise Camp kind of slowly got a little bit. I mean, there was COVID, you know, it just slowly lost its lust. You know, I think Mark Richt ran it very well, and then it just slowly, little by little, just kind of ran out of gas. Just my opinion.
Guys like Jaden Wayne making that kind of a trip all the way down there to Miami, and then not even have the staff be in contact with them after that. You know, it's just stuff like that Jaden knows won't happen with Cristobal on this staff. He knows they will get in touch with him, and he knows they'll get in touch with them often because it seems to be kind of a very, very friendly relationship they have, not just football, but there's a lot of respect and admiration on both sides.
And, you know, when you spoke to Jaden Wayne, Jaden Wayne, when speaking to Coach Salavea straight up told him, you're number one on our board at D-line.
Yep.
You're our number one target. There's no one else.
Yep. When Salavea went last week before this event, went up to visit Jaden at Lincoln High School in Tacoma, he made it clear as day to Jaden that he is the number one priority.
Yeah. All right, let's do some questions. How many receivers do we take in 2023? It's so many great receivers there. No, South Florida receivers-wise, I mean, there's Hakeem Williams, Jaylen Brown, Brandon Inniss. There's a ton. I think Santana Fleming. I forgot about him.
Nathaniel Joseph.
He's another great one. Nathaniel Joseph. The list keeps going on and on. In my opinion, you got to take the players you think are going to be contributors, plug-in players for your team, can make big plays for you to win you a big bowl game, a national title. If you believe in those guys, you got to make room for them. So take as many as you can get. I mean, I don't have an exact number, but if it's 3, 4, 5, if they're good, come get them to commit.
Yeah, I can see us taking 3 at least off the top of my head now. But I think a lot of it could also be based off of what the young wide receivers end up doing this next season for us. If they start to show improvement, or if they're not really showing improvement, or they're not fitting in the system properly. That's when we can decide to go, hey, maybe we need to add an extra 2 wide receiver in this class so we can find our guys.
All right. 290 people. Let's try to get 300. 32 minutes in. Greatly appreciate everyone's support. Hit the subscribe button, the like button. Greatly appreciate it. All right. Ross, anything else we have not touched up on tonight? Just be patient, guys, with the coaching staff. I can't wait till we name someone. I'm curious who it will be. Look, I'm just going to throw – if I had to make my wild prediction, I'll say Ken Dorsey. He's done. The Bills lost in the playoffs. It's over. He hugged Josh Allen. He's a little emotional. We'll see what happens.
I'd gladly take it, man. I'd gladly take it. Dude, there's 2 players I want to address before we move on for the rest of it, though, Paul, is 2 guys that were actually down here, and they were performing at the 7-on-7 battle. 2023 defensive lineman Gavin Hill was out there playing a tight end jumbo wide receiver role and was getting open and making catches, bro. At his size, a defensive lineman at 6'3", 245 in a finesse sport like 7-on-7 was getting open. Like, I'm very, very intrigued by his athleticism. And tight end Adam Moore, dude, is a freaking nightmare in the 7-on-7 scene, dude. I mean, he brushing off guys, 3/4 of his size. I mean, it's like they're just like he's brushing off a fly or something like that. I mean, it's nothing to him. His strength is so much more above the players than he's going against. Dude, it's going to be scary good for him next year, dude. And I'm really glad that the staff got a chance to see him on campus, because I think Moore is going to start shooting up recruiting boards really soon.
So, Ty has an interesting question he asked. Can someone tell me how Alabama kept their recruiting stronghold after championships and Miami couldn't duplicate it after the 2001 championships? You got to remember, we're talking present day now.
Yeah, new era.
When Alabama wins national titles, their entire coaching staff, from their head coach, special teams, linebackers coach, cornerbacks coach, OC, DC, O-line coach, these guys really emphasize recruiting. They really recruit hard. When Larry Coker was our head coach in 2001, 2002, things slowly got worse and worse. You win the national title, you lose in the national title, you win the Orange Bowl. They won the Peach Bowl after, then they lose in the Peach Bowl. It kind of got worse and worse. Larry Coker was not big into recruiting. He was older. Couldn't travel, 24/7 in a helicopter, land in their high school. He couldn't do that. Nick Saban can do that. Bobby Bowden was also an older guy. He wasn't really that big into recruiting. But you know who was really big into recruiting and was a young coach coming out of Utah to the University of Florida? Urban Meyer.
Yes.
And he literally locked down the entire state of Florida.
In a hurry.
Had some, literally, his Florida teams were nasty. And I don't like Florida. They were good.
Proven success speaks volumes in this arena that we're talking about, basically. You got a guy like Saban, you got a school like Bama. Schools are going to be more apt or trusting to take a shot on guys like that because they know the pedigree they're coming from. And if a guy basically has been good enough to be coached by Saban, a lot of other schools are going to say, hey, well, then he's good enough to coach for us. I mean, that's kind of the way that they look at it, I'm sure. It doesn't always work out. You have the Dan Enos incidents of the world, But for the majority of it, his guys take off and they find success elsewhere. So I totally understand why there's still such a huge draw for these major coaches, dude. It's the best stepping stone you can almost take if you want to go above your career.
By the way, I'm curious what the chat says. I thought about this name. What if Warren Ruggiero, Wake Forest's offensive coordinator, was offered the position at Miami? Keep in mind what he did with Wake Forest's offense in the ACC with Sam Hartman as their quarterback. He got them ranked in the top 25. They had a very fluid, efficient offense.
Yeah.
Sam Hartman was a pretty decent quarterback. I mean, just a name to think of if that's a good name or not. If you don't like the Ken Dorseys, the Warren Ruggieros, what name would you like to be our offensive coordinator? Dan Mullen's still out there. I don't know what the hell he's doing, but he's a great offensive mind in the game of football. I mean, who would you guys pick? I'd love to hear your comments, your suggestions. I don't think Byron Leftwich will be the offensive coordinator at Miami. I'd be in shock, but if he comes, he comes. I'd love that.
The OC from Wake Forest, I like their offense a lot. I like how it moves, and I think that they run their offense in ways that could be very beneficial for the players we already have on our staff. I think they team up very, very well with TVD from the quarterback standpoint, no doubt about it. And that Wake Forest offense, they put up points even when they weren't getting 4 or 5-star kids. They were getting middle range 3-star kids. If he can do anything similar to that at Miami, but do it on the caliber of 4 and 5-star talent on his back, dude, who knows? Maybe he can take it to another level. He's interesting, dude. They ran some very clever sets on offense sometimes. Some clever sets that made me go, okay, these guys are really paying attention.
I actually like UVA's OC, Coach Anae, and I pronounce it. I thought he was very crafty, creative.
Dude, remember what they pulled out on us this last game, having that 6'7" backup quarterback playing tight end, basically? Like, just nuts, dude. And they picked up Sean Wilson, who they're just going to turn into that role in the future.
I'm confused. Like, Mullen, I doubt Mullen will be the next OC here. I mean, I think he won 2 national titles at Florida as OC, and he had some studs with him. I mean, that team was dirty. That team was literally a nasty football team. Yeah. Percy Harvin, you had Aaron Hernandez, Tim Tebow, literally studs. Riley Cooper was there. I mean, they were stacked top to bottom. But hey,
it's tough it's tough to do those things like they used to be done in the previous eras of college football. We're in this new era now. We're in possibly the most lopsided era of college football we've ever seen, top heavy. And now we have the NIL, which is some are referring to as basically welcome to free agency in college. So there's so much different now than comparing staffs from the 90s and stuff like that, or even early 2000s. There's a whole lot of different stuff going on right now that they would have never had to deal with.
Yeah, it's an interesting time in football, college football. I understand players were getting paid, no doubt about it, under the table. Now it's just public. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. This was the first go around of the NIL deals, and we'll see where it stands 5 years from now. I don't know.
I do have a little news here concerning a player, and it's a player that me and Paul are familiar with. You guys have seen him on the show a couple times. 2024 offensive lineman Brian Suarez made the announcement that he is transferring to St. Thomas to play football. So moving a guy like him from Champagnat over to St. Thomas, dude, keep an eye on him, guys. The sky's the limit for Brian. It's the limit. They wouldn't be having him there if they didn't think so. That's how STA operates, especially for a 2024 kid. So they went out of their way to get him to come to school there. So keep an eye out on him, guys.
Brian Suarez, he's an offensive lineman, local kid, born in Miami. He's going to St. Thomas Aquinas High School now. He's probably 6'4". He's a big kid. Yeah. He's already been invited to the Under Armour All-American game for his class in 2024. He's going to be a 4 or 5-star recruit. Yep. So remember that name because he's going to be like Julian Ardmea kind of status when it's his time. So just remember that name.
We're making some good progress in the 2024 class too, man. I mean, I heard a couple names that actually stood out pretty well, especially in the 7-on-7 battles. And I also heard that the youngest Fegans had 3 interceptions during the weekend. So he was showing out as well. I guess people were really, really impressed with Anquan.
Falconer X, thank you for the $6 donation. Greatly appreciate it. I'm going to ask you this question, Ross, and then I'll say what I have to say. Can the Miami Hurricanes get nasty again? Can they be elite? Redefine the game again? Falconer X believes so.
It would have to be done in a new way. We're not going to reignite the old Miami. That era is gone and it's over with. We can take pieces of that and move forward with it, but we can't have it be the basis of everything we do. Cristobal, though, is the type of coach that can hopefully get some kind of image to Miami, an image that's our own, an image that, hey, you watch these guys play, you don't even need to see their jerseys. You know it's a Miami Hurricanes football team. We got to get back to that, dude. But it's not easy, man. You know it too, Paul. It's not easy to do.
Yeah, I think, the state of college football right now, we are seeing really, I think we're seeing Alabama dominate. We're seeing Clemson dominate, Ohio State dominate,
Georgia.
Oklahoma offensively dominate, and we saw Georgia this past season dominate. We saw flashes of Michigan, Notre Dame get in the college football playoffs. We've seen Oklahoma try. They can't compete. First off, you're going to have to recruit year in and year out, every single position. You're going to have to literally dominate at will. And it's not going to be something that occurs overnight. It's not going to be next year or the following year. It's tough, man. It's tough. The only program that you're literally year in and year out is dominating is really Alabama. It's really just Alabama, then some flashes here and there. I don't think we'll get to the Alabama level. I don't think anyone will ever get to that level. What Nick Saban has done, it's like John Wooden of UCLA basketball. It's going to be something. I'm 27. I don't know, like my grandkids will be talking about. I don't think we'll ever replicate what Alabama's doing. I think we can be good to win ACC title games, potentially win a national title. I think I think that's more than possible with Cristobal. I just, it's very difficult to really get back to winning national titles. And I think as Miami Hurricanes fans, we're very spoiled. And I think we've tasted the dirt, tasted more than the dirt with the past 18 years or more we've gone through.
Well, it's not just Bama that we have to worry about in that aspect. Georgia might be starting something very, very special there as well. So that could put two teams on the Alabama plane, basically, or Alabama caliber in the SEC. Schools that love to come recruit in our backyard.
Yeah, exactly. No, they love to dominate in our backyard. And that, I don't know if it will ever stop. Jay Miller, $5 donation. Thank you so much. Jay Miller states, Freddie Kitchens OC, Chris Ash DC. What do you guys think? Thank you again, Jay Miller, for your donation. Look, I don't think it will happen, but who knows at this point? Who knows?
I wouldn't be upset with that. But yeah, it's just those are two names that I've heard nothing about. Zero buzz. And it seems to be with Cristobal, there's at least some feelers put out or a little bit of buzz built up before big moves are made. So I'm still kind of keeping my ears open, dude, because I just haven't heard anything yet that's just blown my mind away saying, hey, this is going to be our DC or our OC. I've yet to hear it.
Dante Scott, $5 donation. Thank you so much. Is Mabrey Mettauer a Miami take? Guys, if you don't know Mabrey Mettauer, he's going to be a star of college football, one of the top quarterbacks in the nation. We've had him on the show. Listen, he's got to be a take.
I mean, that he's quite possibly the next Trevor Lawrence, honestly. And it's not just because of his looks and that kind of stuff. He plays just like Trevor Lawrence did, and he's actually a little more refined in certain areas than Trevor was at his age. Like Paul mentioned, we were fortunately able to have Mabrey on for an interview, and we had him on with his quarterback coach, Sean Salisbury. And Sean couldn't say enough incredible things about Mabrey. I'm in a little chat group on Twitter with those three guys, Paul. I mean, every time something comes out about Mabrey, every time news comes out or an offer comes out, Sean's sitting there hitting me up saying, I told you so. I told you so. I told you to watch out. I told you to keep an eye on this kid. So he's being adamant about it, dude, that this kid's special, and he knows he's special.
No, Mabrey Mettauer is definitely going to be a household name in college football. Give it time. He's young. What is he, 2024?
Yeah. And there's another 2024 class. If guys are already looking into the state of Texas, 4-star DJ Lagway. He doesn't have an offer from Miami yet, but he has expressed to me openly multiple times that he wants an offer from Miami because he thinks so highly of the school and of this new staff. He hasn't got a chance to really know the staff, but just everything he's heard. He's really intrigued by it. He is a legitimate high-end 4-star quarterback. So I would hope that we'd kind of explore him a little bit, do our due diligence to see if he's worth giving us an offer.
All right. Well, 45 minutes going live. We had over 320 people on tonight's show. Greatly appreciate everyone's support. We do this on the fly. We just go live when we feel like it. Ross, are we doing a recruiting show tomorrow?
Yes, sir.
And if you guys are into recruiting, you don't want to miss out on this show. Once again, when National Signing Day is done in February coming up, class of 2023, we've been on it. We've had a ton of great players. We're going to provide you guys with some great content.
You can pretty much, guys, unless something goes weird in me and Paul's schedule, Tuesday nights is the night you guys can expect interviews. It's kind of what we've been sticking with. So if it works for everybody and it works for us, keep it going.
We have 103 likes right now. Let's get that to 200 likes. If you guys can support us, hit subscribe. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you guys again. We couldn't have done this without you. And always, all about the U. Go Canes.